Of course, as you know, today is the official launching of PSAs all over New Mexico to invite community members to join the text messaging system. As you can see in my background, you can join if you haven't already. Hundreds of people have already joined all over New Mexico to the text messaging system, where you text the word justice to the number 69866 and you get information, updated information as to where immigration reform is going.
You know, immigration reform is so important that if you think about it, we even had a hard time bringing Our Lady across the border, because she didn't have papers. It's true. She didn't have papers. But when we look at the effects of the inability of Congress and the last president to act on immigration reform, I see here within our parish members the damage that is done to families and how families are separated. Nobody should have to live with fear that their mom and dad are going to be taken away from them. That's not right.
Since 1999, we've had progressive policies in regard to dealing with immigrant people, immigrant families in Santa Fe. Our police department and our new police chief, Eric Wheeler, is here. He hasn't even been sworn in yet, and so one of his first official visits is here, because our police know how important it is to have full integration in our community in Santa Fe, that we're all working together for the public welfare and for public safety. And so we'll have Chief Wheeler speak in a few moments, but we've had very progressive policies and very effective policies in Santa Fe. I'm very proud of them. I'm here to speak for that today, to keep encouraging all of you to work on that, to, as Deacon Trujillo says, make sure that our elected representatives, from the President to the Senate to Congress, know that Santa Fe demands immigration reform. Santa Fe and the immigrant community here, we've done our part, and we'll continue to do our part, and I'm very proud of this community. But we need that immigration reform so that we can really become one Santa Fe, one economy with united cultures.
Key. I think that when we talk about reform and immigration, we need to look at our community and understand that some of the things that the mayor mentioned are key to law enforcement and the community that I serve as being a member of law enforcement. We look out and we see those individuals that are afraid to contact the police department. My hope is that through this immigration reform that we will see those barriers come down. We'll see open hands come out between the police department and the immigrant community to come forth and feel free to talk to the police department. We want to tear down those barriers. We want to make it effective so that each and every member of this community feels that they can come to the police department and that we can be part of the problem solving, not part of the problem.
The time is now for federal immigration reform. Is that right? Yeah. And you know why? You know what's happening. In the absence of comprehensive federal immigration reform, state and local governments are taking issues into their own hands, and that's splitting us apart as Americans. That's not what we want, right? That's not what we want. We need leadership at the federal level. But to make that happen, it takes grassroots activism, just like we're doing today. And I want to commend Somos Pueblo, Unido. We have collaborated on so many different levels to bring this issue to the forefront and keep it there until we see some action. Do you want action?
Yes.
So do I.
The FL-CIO does have policies in place that we support for immigration reform. I'm just going to go over just the 5 points. An independent commission to assess and manage future flows based on labor market shortages that are determined on the basis of actual need. Number 2, a secure and effective work authorization mechanism. Number 3, rational, optional control of the borders. Very important. Rational. That's the key word there. Number 4, adjustment of status for the current undocumented population. And number 5, improvement, not exception, of temporary worker programs limited to temporary or seasonal, not permanent jobs. These are policies that have been set together by the AFL-CIO and the Choice to Win.
Just a couple weeks ago, we had 16 children left without mom and dad. These are human beings. These are people that are suffering. What do you do with 16 kids that don't have parents now? And people scrambling all over trying to find a place to send them so that somebody can feed them and take care of them. This is inhumane. These are human rights. I don't care if they're Chinese or Mexican or what they are. They're human beings. These are the kind of things that tear me apart, my brothers and sisters, and I believe in immigration reform. We've done a lot on local levels. We've done a lot in state levels. We need to go to Washington. We need to change. We have been blessed with a new president, Obama. I believe that the time is now. I believe that we have doors that are opening to us, even in the same paper. Roswell Police Department changes detention policy, and here in the corner is a picture of Sotomayor. You talk about a victory. That's a biggie, you know? Praise God. She will be appointed. I believe it. But you know, I just learned how to text. Just last week when they went to the same meeting, you know? I never texted in my life. I didn't even know how. I'm an old man. We don't know those kind of things, you know? And Somos taught me how to text. And I joined this group right here. And you know, you guys, you got to get on this. That's how Obama got elected. These are the ways of the future. We got to believe that we have ways that we can do things. You got to text.